Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this meditation session, we mainly going to practice tranquility meditation and samatha mental culture and vipassana meditation or vipassana mental culture. So, why we say for this bhavana or meditation as mental culture? Because it is a way of developing your mind. It is a way of uplifting your awareness, and you become matured with the mind. So it is totally different way of that doing more than the way that we used to live as ordinary people. So why it is? Because ordinary life totally depend on the power of thinking. And of course you can achieve too many things, and you can create many things. And as example, when we look the entire this world and nowadays what we experience, this everything is a result of mind. So mind has that nature to develop. But the thing is this, even though that we develop this everything, when it come to ourselves, that our very nature, we have no power to escape from getting old or getting sick or death. So if the mind able to think and do certain things, why the itself the mind doesn't have the strength or the power to maintain it in a certain way? Why it cannot just be the same? So that's mean, even though we create this everything in this outside world, so when it comes to the reality, this everything always go with the unsatisfactory nature, selflessness, and the change. So when you able to recognize that nature within yourself, the way you think going to be totally changed. That change is a great investment for your existence. Why? Because if you exist, if you live thinking, you're going to be forever. You're going to be the same. You're going to be like this. So what will happen? Out of that thoughts, whatever the action that you make, or whatever the decision you make, or whatever the lifestyle that you develop, it's going to be totally wrong. And because of that, and you're going to get unnecessary outcome. Why? Because life is like a package. So then ourselves, when we get something, it comes with something else. So if you don't see the totality, if you don't see the complete structure or the nature or the complete package, it always going to become a struggle. No one can escape from that. So then through the meditation, what we does, through the meditation, we uplift our awareness to understand the reality. Rather than go with our self-centered view, we become more matured to recognize things as it is. And once you're able to recognize things as it is, as a result of that view, what will happen? You become a person to take decisions according to necessary conditions, not according to the view or not according to this that someone else or something else. You always go with the according to the necessary situations, and that way you get out of the struggle. When you get out of the struggle and you get out of the suffering. So just by thinking, maybe just even by hearing and understanding, you cannot do it. That's why you need certain practice. So that practice we call bhavana. So when it comes to bhavana or meditation, so the main thing that you have to remember, it is not something that you thinking. It is not you use the mind to think. The meditation mainly what it does, it allow your mind to settle down and allow your mind to be in one place. So the very behavior that we develop, always mind go here and there, following thoughts, past and future. So when it comes to the meditation, what we does, we allow mind to settle down as it is. How we can do that? By wishing, by praying, thinking, you cannot do it. Because you have to recognize the very nature of the mind. So the mind always, follow the mind. The mind and the thoughts always follow the mind. Thoughts always follow the thoughts. It's same behavior like animals. Cows always follow the cows. And birds always follow the birds. Fish always follow the fish. Babies always follow the babies. Children always follow the children. And women's always follow the women's. Men's always follow the men's. Human always follow the humans. Vehicles always follow the vehicles. That's how it is. The same thing when it comes to the mind, thoughts always follow the thoughts. So then in tranquility meditation, we bring a intentional thought. So that's called primary mental object or nimitta. So we do it by intentionally. So that's mean your consciousness select it. And so then you are consciously guide your mind. So it is not by mistake or it is not happen according to someone else wish or initiation. It is by consciously yourself you select and then you follow it. So then once the mind able to come to a point to decide something what will happen, the thought start to follow that. So that's why we bring our inhalation, exhalation as a primary mental object. So once you able to decide to focus your mind to inhalation, exhalation, what will happen? The thoughts little by little going to settle down with it. So when the thoughts settle down, what will happen? Your body also naturally settle down. Even though you don't see, this body also full of thoughts. And once the thoughts settle down, the body settle down. When the body and mind settle down, And in that very moment, you come to a point that you release this all the heaviness and the weight and the tightness, and the mind become more calm and relaxed and comfortable. In that comfort, you don't get disturbed out of any perceptions. That undisturbed mind able to recognize things as it is, sound as a sound, smell as smell, taste as a taste, sign as a sign, sensation as a sensation, thought as a thought. And if you more divide it, when a sound comes, if that sound is coming from a human, then you recognize it is a human. Animal, it is animal, or something else, then you recognize it. And if you go more deeper, that recognition, as example, if somebody says something with the anger, you recognize with that words the anger. Then you know it. And sometimes people make mistakes. So without knowing the other person's mental condition, sometimes you get into that person and maybe you are in trouble. Why? Because you didn't see the real mental condition, you just misunderstood. But when you are in tranquility state, it's not going to happen. The difference is this. Conventionally, we always think, and by experience we do this. But in samatha meditation, in tranquility meditation, what is happening? You able to get into that wisdom or the understanding or the frequency without thinking. The mind has that capacity. Naturally yourself, it happening to you. But mostly your mind is not in the present moment. Because of that, you don't see it. Because you always depending from thoughts, and then whatever happen, rather than recognizing it through the mind, you always bring the thought. That is the first thing we do. So in tranquility meditation, we settle down. So for that, we follow the inhalation, exhalation. So keep focus in your mind in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and allow your inhalation the inhalation to happen as it is, exhalation to happen as it is. So we have to find out the negations. So what we should not do. And according to that, don't try to inhale or exhale. Don't try to think I inhale, I exhale. Don't try to count 1 to 10 or kind of like that. Don't do that anything. Just allow simply it happen as it is. And don't make any comments regarding it. Just let it happen pure organic way, naturally. So when the inhalation, exhalation happens, and see how you can recognize it through the sensation. Once the sensation recognized, and through the sensation, following the sensation recognized, this is inhalation, this is exhalation. And then the beginning, the middle and end, and the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation, so on like that. And maybe you no need to go by order, but whatever come to you as sensation, just recognize it very clearly. So once the mind settle down there, then go to the same inhalation, exhalation, and see the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within all the sensations you get. It doesn't matter inhalation or exhalation, long, short, heavy, or warm or cold, it doesn't matter. And sometimes when you observe here, and slowly, little by little, your entire body, you start to feel as one. And when the inhalation, exhalation happen, your whole body moving like an energy ball, or kind of like a balloon moving up and down. So if you recognize that way, just see the change that moment by moment happening through this entire body. And sometimes there are certain body parts that you feel more especially heavily. So whatever, as example, shoulders. So you close your eyes and observing, and then suddenly you feel the heaviness of the shoulders, and you don't feel anything in your body, but you feel the heaviness of the shoulders. So just focus to the change. And sometimes you feel legs, heaviness of the legs. You don't see it as a leg, but you feel kind of like a heaviness or tightness, or maybe the arms, maybe the palms. And sometimes when you keep your palms like this, and slowly what is happening, your palms start to get close like this. So it happened because of the flow of the energy sometimes. So then always remember to keep straight your palm. Don't close your palm. When you keep like this, don't close your palms like this. So that heaviness sometimes bring and keep the tightness. So release that yourself and knowingly that the change, and don't go with any feelings, and always keep the newness and the freshness when you observe, when you go to the vipassana level. And don't add any experience together, keep it separately, and don't bring any past experience to the moment. Whatever happened, don't remind it, just move forward with whatever the available experience. So let's practice a little bit. Get ready yourself, your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body. Let your whole body weight go down and observe head to toes yourself and say Suapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also, think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of inhalation, exhalation, and from there, impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, and find the sensation of inhalation, exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area, please. And observe the inhalation, exhalation. Do nothing extra. Rather than going with your thoughts, just watch your thoughts. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation and exhalation. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft also. Just recognize. Observe the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within. Inhalation, exhalation, or any sensations onto. Bring your attention to your body and observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire this compound, this village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as we can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Visualize yourself and send it as a light forward to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when it comes to this meditation practice, our main purpose is developing the wisdom and the awareness. So, when it comes to wisdom, so mainly in conventionally, we have to develop a mind to maintain that undisturbed lifestyle as a human being. So that is one of the greatest thing that if you able to develop, that doesn't mean the environment should be comfortable for us, because that is where mainly we become more comfortable when other people so nice to us, when other people become so good, even the weather and environment become so good, so place become more comfortable, then we feel so good, we feel bliss. But if you change the other side, how about you develop a mind, and that's why in tranquility meditation when we explain it we say undisturbed mind. So then you don't depend on the condition of this outside situations or the people or the environment. So that developing that undisturbed mind will take you to a place to develop a character as lifestyle to undisturbed, even not only the human, to everything around us. So in day-to-day life, why we cannot just let things to be? Just let things to let settle down itself. Because we have nature interfering. So when it comes to the vipassana, that is the main that discipline that you gain through practice of this vipassana. You're not going to interfere with, especially with your thoughts, with your mind. So be a person yourself not to interfere to your perception. That is what called clear comprehension. So this interference itself take you to misunderstanding, misleading, misguiding. So it is a mental behavior. That mental behavior become a physical behavior, and then it become a social behavior. And then it become a culture sometimes. Culture, it become a tradition, and then it go to generations. But be aware yourself not to interfere. That's why that seeing, there are two ways to see. One seeing is just it happened. It happened, and at the same time, with the interference of your thoughts, you can see. But when it comes to vipassana, that seeing is completely different, that conventional level of seeing. So when it comes to the vipassana level of seeing, clear comprehension, sati sampajanya, or direct perception, in that very moment, seeing means without disturbing to anything. So when it comes to deeper, if you able to see form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition without interference of your thoughts, if you see how this is happening, that is the greatest way of seeing. Conventionally we see things, but that is more, we project something from inside to outside. But recognition is inside what is happening. Form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. If you are able to see that, that is the highest seeing. So that seeing, if you are able to recognize that, if you are able to develop that seeing, so whatever these outside situations come to us naturally, very easily you can see. So when it comes to vipassana level, that is what you have to develop. So then as an attitude, remember to develop a mindset not to interfere. Even when there is a pain arise, what we do suddenly, we just suddenly touch it or change the posture. Or even just like, here we don't experience that much, but somehow that if there is a mosquito come, what we do suddenly, because the mosquito, it is helpless. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know you practice meditation, or it doesn't know, regarding whatever the things. But what we does, and we tatas, is suddenly go. Is we cannot, because we cannot see, we cannot observe even that sound. So it is a mental quality if you are able to develop little by little. So in the vipassana level, remember, physically learned. That's why even the feeling, as example, when it comes to 4 foundations, the satipatthana, and there are 4 meditation technique, contemplating the body, So the bodily posture. So then when you learn to observe the body, then if you feel suddenly uncomfortable, you don't change that suddenly. You see it. So that seeing will help you to recognize the form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. And then the next one is contemplating the feelings. So when it comes to that, whatever you feel, and right away you recognize it without reacting, because if you react, you cannot recognize it is going to disappear. So that is a mental ability you develop. And the contemplating the thoughts even. So to do this everything, they are somehow your thought involving. There is a part that your thoughts playing up. Somehow you don't see sometimes. But if you able, why? Because you interfere, you react very quickly. So then you lose the ability to see. So that's why it's a slow down the action. And that will help you to see things. When you do this way, what will happen? So the very first quality you develop, not to interfere. So then it take you to see. When you able to see, the next quality what is happening, when you develop this vipassana or sati sampajanya, and then your mind able to open. That is where the openness arises. That is where the openness comes. Otherwise, even conventionally, we like to have the open mind. We always say that, appreciate it. But still, we caught up with our own views. Even when you come to practice meditation sometimes, and just, it is not just that my personal, teaching, observe the inhalation, exhalation. No, it recorded in the Satipatthana, in the Anapana Sati Sutta. Ujung kayang panidaya parimukang sating upatta petva so sato vasasati so sato pasasati digang vasasanto digang asasamiti pajanati. It recorded. You just observe inhalation, exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and then recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. When if it is long, it is short, you just recognize. But when you hear it, when you're going to do, and sometimes you heard it, you don't do it. You do something else. And sometimes people ask, so Venerable Sir, when I practice meditation, this is what happened. So then I ask, what you do? And then say something else. So I asked, I didn't tell you to do that thing. Why it happened then? Because if you cannot do what I say, why are you listening to me? No point. So it is better you go and watch something else. So that openness is take you to wisdom. But still, why it is very difficult for us? Because our own thoughts interfering with us and holding with us and not allowing your mind to be open. So then slowly observe yourself when you practice meditation especially. Remember this samatha and vipassana, it is nothing to do with that whatever the magical things. It is completely, deeply that the change of your inner behavior. It make you matured to experience the reality. If you don't want to see the reality, forget about it. Then you can, do something else. But this make you matured to experience the reality. So then when you want to experience the reality, you have to stop doing part. So that is how it go higher, go higher, go higher. Otherwise, if you develop the doing part, how are you going to balance and the two different nature? You developing the doing part. Doing means that means involving into your thoughts, and then you want to experience the reality also. It is two different things. It doesn't work like that. So that's why you have to understand how this work. So in the beginning, get out of the interference. So then you have to practice it. That is the meditation. You practice not to interfere with your own mind. Once you decide to observe the inhalation or exhalation or pain or the bodily posture or whatever, you stay with it. And then that will help you to see it. And not only that, it will help you to open the mind. When you open and open and open, you become, the next quality become more flexible. So remember the steps. Interference, once you stop the interference, you're able to see, and it is develop the ability to see. So once you develop the ability to see, it make you open, more open. And when you become more open and it develop your flexibility, that is one of the best quality that you gain through the vipassana. You become kind of like a water, and you become a person, adapt to situations, whatever the situations. Because mostly we like machines, robot. We go with we have to have a setup necessary way. Even when you wake up early in the morning, look tomorrow. When you wake up early in the morning, and naturally your mind set up for things. And when you get out of the bed, and you know how the height, how it is from your bed to the floor. If it is 1 inch different, your whole day going to be mess. And you go from your bedroom to your bathroom, and you know exactly where the toothpaste, your toothbrush, and your razor, or so your makeup, that's everything, you know where it is. If you see that maybe 1 inch your toothpaste or the toothbrush is different in a different place, maybe your whole day going to be a mess. Because that much we program, that much it program. And maybe you go and open the shower and no hot water, or maybe only cold the whole day. It's going to be different. So it's like that. That much we program. But when it comes to the vipassana, when you have the clear comprehension, the one of the best quality, that is the master mind in the world, even in this conventional world. The mastermind means that you have a mind to adapt to any situation. Develop that. Teach your children rather than program them. Because of these machines and technology and this everything, we now more learn to push buttons. If the button doesn't work, or if the buttons bring something else, then we cannot handle that. No, when it comes to the reality in life, always power of this human mind. So you can adapt to any situations. So develop that. You have to learn it, and you have to know that. So that is what you gain through the sati sampajanya, or the clear comprehension. And once you able to have the mind, liquid mind, to adapt to any situations, yourself start to weaker. Self-centered view become weaker. And the self-centered view and become slowly, slowly, slowly transformed to wisdom. So when the self-centered view becomes stronger, 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 you become kind of like a robot. And then from robot, even the robot can, program and move. But when the self-centered view becomes stronger, you will see, you can see many characters. You become like a statue. You don't, you are kind of like a completely, that there's no human being, but still you are kind of like everybody can see that you are there. But no any progress or productive activities. So then when it comes to the clear comprehension, you become more flexible, and your views become more liquid. And that is where you find the freedom. So be a person, remember, life is like a package. Life is like a package. It's not going to happen the way exactly sometimes things the way we want. Be a person, be ready to any situation. So when you develop the vipassana, that is what happened. You become a person to adapt to any situation. And that will develop the mental qualities to be undisturbed again and again and again and again. And then not only that you're not going to interfere with others. It doesn't matter they do good or bad to you. But yourself, it's not because you don't take it as a disturb. So that is where you experience the power of this human mind, and also the beauty of this human world. So the Sati Sampajanya take you to that level. So it start with practicing not to interfere to your thoughts. So then it will take you to develop the clarity, and then it will take you to more open your mind. And when you don't interfere, you're able to see it. That seeing will open your mind, and that open mind make you more flexible. That if you become kind of like that person, in conventional life, you become more successful person. Even in the meditation, practice of the vipassana, and it will help you to go deeper with your mental practice. It's a both way, conventionally and spiritually, both way you can gain the good qualities, and you can balance the life in both ways. So, and other thing is, and sometimes that our mental behavior, we keep more secure that behavior with us, and we become more comfortable with that. But when you come to develop the flexible mind, that mental behavior naturally start to go away. Otherwise, you hold it to it. So we can say, don't do this, don't do that. So like that, even the books say, don't do this, but it's not going to work. It's always going to be with us. But when you develop this path, and what happening naturally, you start to clean it yourself. Otherwise, wherever you go, it go with you. It everywhere it's go with you. So then when it come to that, not to interfere with that, then that quality will lead you to become more successful person. So in that success, finally, what you gain? You gain your own freedom. So that is why again and again you have to remember, learn not to interfere with your own observation, and put more effort and put more strength to handle that. Be disciplined with it. Be hard on you not to interfere. At least 5 minutes, 10 minutes it start. Then you will see it going to become a good practice. Even whatever, outside, whatever you see. If you see a beautiful flower, if you see a bird, if you see a tree, don't interfere. Remember that. What maybe you see it going to be wrong or something like that's your mind mostly. That is your mind. But if you able to see in the beginning, if you not interfere, then you able to see what it is. But mostly what we think sometimes, whatever you see suddenly you want to interfere with it because it is your thoughts. So if you hold it little bit and then you will see, and there is a different things. It's kind of like a different kind of code that you able to see, read through this entire world and the universe. So that is the beauty of this vipassana practice. That is the beauty of this sati sampajanya or clear comprehension. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, this is happen. So I'm going to tell you a story. There was a group of monks. There were a group of monks, and they 500 monks, and they heard there is a very good teacher in the middle of the forest. So this all the monks went to practice meditation to that teacher. And then there was a one monk. He used to have a pet, like a cat or dog or something like that. But when he went to the forest, he couldn't find that, any pet. So he felt kind of like, little bit long. One day what happened, he found a small, very poison, baby snake. And then he took it to hand, and that nature, he start to touch it and say, and start to keep it in, that enjoying it. So then all other monks told, don't do this. But he told this, this little baby not harming to anyone. So then other monks told, this baby not going to be baby every day. This baby going to become big. Why you cannot see it? But that is the way of we think. So then what happened? He make a bamboo cage and then put that little snake there. So then all the monks used to call that snake bamboo baby, and the monk they call the monk bamboo father. So the bamboo baby is the snake, and the bamboo father is now this monk, and they practice meditation. And then the high priest heard about this and told, and then one day evening he asked, is that true that you adopting a snake? This monk told, oh yeah, he's not harming, and he's very friendly with me, go here and there and stay in my robe. And the high priest told, don't do this. Just throw it away. Let it go. Don't keep it. But the monk wanted to keep it. So then the high priest told, then if you keep it, remember, that is your death. So the monk, what he did, he didn't care about it. So he used to keep it. And then one day they went to the village. And then what happened in that village, few days they had to spend. They went to collect food. So then after 3 days, they came back. So this little snake was so hungry. And when any animal, when they become hungry, what is happening? They become angry. Even the human, the same. So this monk came and then he put the hand inside the cage. And then the snake bite, and in that one bite, the monk died. So this is the same thing happening. It every day happening to us also, but we don't see. This invisible snake biting to us, and every day in our heart, how many times we die because of our desires, because of the things that we hold, thinking this is like this is going to bring me the joy, happy, satisfaction. And that what we used to believe, but every day, breath by breath, more than living, most of the people in this world, every day, day and night, they dying. They dying mentally. The physical death we always have, but here, mentally, we are suffering and dying because we don't want to let go things. Why? Because we have the nature to interfere with the things. So then be careful yourself. And when you interfere something, remember, the world is always moving, always moving. That's why you see whatever, day by day, again and again and again, it's in circular motion, come back, come back, come back. So then yourself, the actions, the emotions, the desires, the same. That if you don't release, if you don't stay away from things, if you interfere with things, and we don't know what going to come back in the next round. So then when it comes to Sati Sampajanya, you develop deeply strong mental ability and discipline not to interfere. Just let things to be. Don't interfere. So I hope this will help for your entire life, and otherwise, and this is going to be a good lesson for you today. Otherwise, in the journey of this samsara, you will understand this lesson. So I hope this will help for you. And with this good practice, I bless upon everyone. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhavat. Ettavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.